Hello, I'm Dan McDermott at WarrenCountyReport.com. Actually, we're live.WarrenCountyReport.com. And one of my graphic designers for one of our newspapers texted me today, and she said, let's see here, her name is Terry. She said that she's working on a school assignment and wanted to know about the use of video in newsrooms. Now, I'm assuming she's talking about not television news, because obviously TV newscasters use video. So what's going on is a revolution, and it's mainly web. It's because of the web. You've got traditionally newspapers, television, and radio, then cable, and now you have just web-based entities. There's all sorts of them. ProPublica is one that is a nonprofit but heavily funded. But the question was about video, and what that's about is trying to draw traffic to your website. When we started WarrenCountyReport.com, it was at first a Drupal site. Drupal is a content management system, and then that crashed. And then I went with because I didn't have a good backup and was getting frustrated because Drupal's very powerful, but it's not as idiot-proof, easy to use as some of the other solutions. So I was debating between Movable Type and WordPress. Movable Type is good, but it's not used as much as WordPress. But I started with Movable Type, but they also want you to pay if you're commercial. So I tried it, played around with it, and then version 3 of our website was a WordPress install. It's actually on WordPress.com. It's pretty ghetto for a newspaper, but it's simple, and a guy just told me the other day he likes it. So then we didn't even monetize it. We didn't even have any ads on there. But we're going to eventually move to something that we can monetize, and that's one of the things we're doing with this video. Right now, I'm doing this video for Terry, but also it's a rehearsal for the audio and stuff, and if anyone else is interested in this topic. And I don't know that much about it, except we're doing it, so it's in its infancy here. I'm in our studio above, and we've done some recorded videos as well behind me on the set. I'm at a desk here. I'm using Ustream Producer Pro, and I will show you a couple shots here. It's a lot of stuff to get this, but it kind of looks professional, and I've got little graphics I can bring up. I can just put my name up. If someone walks in, I can edit it and add their name. That's what we did on election night. So what's the point of all this? The point of all this is to generate content that lends itself to the web so you can make money selling ads on the web. Most people find they do a blog and nobody reads it, or a few people read it, and maybe you get enough hits to get Google AdSense in there or whatever ad platform you use, and then every 3 years you get a check for $100 from Google. Well, that's not worth your time. So if you are, there are exceptions to that, like Drudge Report, which is I think like a two-man shop, and it's Matt Drudge, and he probably has some assistants, but I'm sure he's making $1 million a year or more from his ads, and he gets a ton of hits. A link on Drudge Report will regularly produce 50,000 or more hits to the site that he's referencing. So that's a real easy site one person can do, and he can make 7 figures from it. So good for him. But there are other sites that like Huffington Post, which is a really good, it's the other side of the political spectrum. It's more liberal. But it's not a one-person show. It's a big show with a lot of employees. They lose a fortune. And I think they have venture capital, but it's not profitable yet. So what we're trying to do is come up with easy, inexpensive things that we can do to enhance our coverage, because newspapers are the source of record. Most of the stuff you hear on the radio or see on TV originated in a newspaper. Most of the stories you see on the news originated from a newspaper, because we write the long form, all the stuff about it. And we're an every week newspaper in Warren and every week in Sharando. So we write these long pieces or short pieces about what's going on, and the video thing, it's something different. On the video, you can interview someone and they can see the person answering the questions. We did that on election night. We did that with our interviews with the candidates. Before, we interviewed 3 of the town council candidates. We interviewed both candidates for mayor. And it wasn't the version by a reporter about what they said. The person was actually seeing them and hearing them say it and could evaluate the person based on that video. So that was the purpose there. But that doesn't mean that you don't want the analysis and the take from the print reporters as well. So we're able to accomplish both things. And in many cases, we can take that video, we'll provide the audio to the local radio stations, and they'll run stories and they'll plug the website. And so we've given them, they get free content, we get a plug. So it all works together. Now, the point is to get web traffic. That's why we do video. So how do you do it? You can have a show like this where I'm talking in front of a camera, or we can have several different shots, several different people, or you can do you can go in the field, but that's more complicated. That's hours and hours or days of editing for a 10-minute piece, because we're still learning and it's just a time-consuming process. This is easy. You sit down, do it, and you're done. When it's over, it's over. You can get cameras like I think the Canon 5D, the new one, and maybe the 7D or the 20D, whatever. I forget what it is. But if you go to Vimeo and type, I think it's Canon 5D, those are still cameras like the ones we have, we have a 1D, but they'll take video, and it's great quality video. So you can have a reporter in the field. He's recording video and audio on his camera, and he's recording stills, and he can write and he can produce web content. You can also use, a BlackBerry. I can shoot something with a BlackBerry. I did during the Salahi thing. I've got a video here I shot of someone at Oasis Winery, and CBS News ran it that night. I'm watching the CBS Evening News, and they showed a video that came from this phone.